Saira. Prakash, you can stop the video. Thank you. Yeah, Saira, Brother Anil, for wonderful introduction.
We know that you're also known as BrotherOneness.
Yes, that's what I.
So, how does that? How is Soham to oneness? Where does that?
Yes, if I could request whoever would like to turn on the video, I'd like interactive session, please. Yeah, well, 21,600 times a day, our breath is silently reflecting that Soham. We start with the journey Koham, who am I? And Soham, I am that, I am that, I am that. So he. So if everyone is saying the same thing, I am that, that's how the oneness concept is connected. That we are all at the Atmic level, we are the same. At the body level, we are different. We are identify how we look, how we speak, how we talk, how we dress up, the nuances, all the vasanas, everything is mixed up. We get away from who we really are. So that's it. So I thought we'll focus on Swami. He starts out his discussion, his discourse as always, Divyatma Sarupalala, divine embodiment of love. So I greet you, everyone who is present, all the brothers and sisters, in that consciousness that we are one. So and then Swami has prompted me over the years to share this message of oneness of all, live and breathe that the last few years. This is the focus of my final episode of my journey, earthly journey. So Soham is very relevant. Swami also sings certain bhajans, some fast bhajans, focusing on who we really are, and then so I would like to hear any comment from anyone as to please share your thoughts so that we can enrich our knowledge and experience. Please, Soham, oneness, what do you think about it?
I wanted to mention, Brother Raj wants this to be a very interactive session, so we don't have to wait till the end for any questions or comments. He wants us to share it right away, so please feel free to do that. But Brother Raj, I could maybe ask you one thing, that oneness is, again, Swami has talked about many different ways: unity of diversity, expansion of love. All of those are many different ways to get to oneness. What is your perspective, and how do you see this, and how have you practiced or experienced this?
Although I came in Swami's Fort in 1979, I was introduced through my sister-in-law, and then Swami met Swami in 1980. Only one and only time he gave the interview where I sat next to him, and he patted me on the back. So that's when the seed of oneness was planted. The question in terms of please ask me the question again. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Okay, I was just saying that Swami has talked about oneness.
Yes. Okay.
Different ways.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's okay. Right. Okay. Well, I mean, he brings back the same point over and over again. Starting with addressing as Divyatma Sarupalala, and then his main teaching of love all, serve all. That's when first, although I heard of Swami in 1979, and then in 1980, I had in fall of 1991, I all of a sudden I was I started wondering what's the purpose of. By the time I was married, I had 3 children, and I had become an attorney. So their life was going smooth. but I was having, what I'm doing here, why I'm here, etc. And then, soon enough, Swami had other plans, so I lost my job. And then during that process of searching for a job, I attended a retreat in Dallas, Texas. When my middle son and I drove there, first time I saw love all, serve all. So that's another aspect of oneness. When Swami says love all, serve all, the reason is that we are all the same. We are put on this earth to experience God's love and to share with our fellow beings. The whole idea is that Godward journey. That's what we are on. So the soul's journey, the oneness is connected to every teaching of Swami: love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never, unity in diversity. He brings out many aspects such as cows are many, milk is one, ornaments are many, gold is one, nations are many, world is one. Like that, in his discourses he makes the point over and over and over again in a different way. He doesn't say oneness, but he's alluding to, accept everyone as they are. Each one is a God's creation, unique creation, I would say. Then that's how we have to respect. It's all about brotherhood of man and fatherhood of God. So oneness concept is brought over and over again. And that's the way I perceive his teachings. So I did not want to become a priest or a imam or a bishop, any of those titles. So I thought I would use this brother oneness. Let's start the discussion at what's this, why are you using this name, and to bring out Swami's teaching that we are this Atmic, we are this Atma. That's why the title of the discussion today is Soul, which is Sath, awareness is Chith, and then living, happy living is that bliss. Like we just heard the bhajan Soham, Soham, and then it ends with a beautiful that Hrudaya say, Ananda say Baro. I mean, I forgot the exact word, but you can help me remember that Brahmananda say Hrudaya Baro. I think that's what the bhajan focus on. So again, he talks about Sath, Chitananda, all those concepts. Please share your thoughts as we go along, please. That way it helps me to address what you may be interested or what I might clarify. Please.
Sure, Saina. You just mentioned that when you and your son drove to Texas to take up the new job, that opened up your mind to love all, serve all. So was there something that happened on that trip? Something special? Or
well, I was not going to look up. I was not taking the job. I was still searching for a job, and then it was already. It was almost 9-10 months had passed by. November 1991. That's when I got laid off. So this was September 1992. I misspoke the date earlier. So as part of job search, I was going to different places throughout the country, and here during Labor Day weekend, I walked to the Dallas. So that captured. Until then, I had not paid attention to Swami's teaching or anything like that. That's something it became a focus for me. So whatever next phase of life where I would be working, I would implement that, and practice that with all my heart and might, So that it was profound feeling. The same way in 1995, March 30th, my mom passed away. The first week of April 1995. myself and my older brother who brought me to America was in Prashanti Nilayam after my mom's cremation and ceremony. So when you walk to the super specialty hospital, then then the inscription and the main dome of Paropakaram Vidam Shariram. So again, that hit me like a brick. That saying, man, look, these are the things I have to implement at this stage of life. That help ever, hurt never was also I had seen in the Dallas retreat time. I think that may have been the theme, or at least it was the banner posted as I was entering the premises. So this time it was Paropakaram Idam Shariram. And as I was driving through Prashanti Nilayam, as you know, each step there is a post, there is a stone pillar post with the various teachings of Swami summarized there. All that had a tremendous impact. Then eventually my job loss led me to move to New York and became an immigration lawyer working with the refugees. So I was able to implement most of those teachings the best way I can. So that way, that's why I use the motto that I have to make a killing. I have to make a living, not killing. So in terms of how to charge the fees, how to provide my services. So that way. Brother Anil?
Yeah, wonderful. If anybody else have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask or interject.
Sorry, please go ahead. Yeah, while during the last 25 years of immigration practice, working with the immigration court, people who are in removal proceedings, I was fortunate to come across many nationalities, many people of many religious background, political background, various type of social, economic difficulties, situations. So everybody is trying to make a better life, and then everyone is moving in that direction. But the suffering is common. Everybody can use a compassionate word and sympathetic ear. So that's why another teaching of Swami relating to love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never. I like to use, and with Swami's prompting, wipe a tear, add a smile. So that's something like simple things like that. In my business card, I have also in my voice recording. If you listen to the voice message, you'll say, greetings from BrotherOneness, may all your problems disappear, may all your dreams come true. One time immigration judge was trying to reach me, and then he said, please solve my problem, call me back please. So it brings up a joy, and then I say, God bless you, and then I have shadings like God loves you, so do I. Even the business literature I was using to communicate with the immigration court had love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never, like that. Sometimes the judges or the colleagues or the clients would ask me, what's this, and then some of them knew that I'm fond of Sai Baba, so they would ask me whenever I do visit Prashanti Nilayam or Vrindavan. The reason I was also, the family happened to be in Mysore, so and then after my mom's death, for a few years I was going twice a year for the family issues, and I was able to visit Swami, and each time I would look at different quotes and saying that kind of reinforced what I need to focus on. So which eventually led me to in 2015, then the focus came on saying, okay, now I have to address myself as BrotherOneness. So everywhere I have it even in emails, I have Raj, BrotherOneness, Ushan, so like that. So sharing again, driving home the point, we are all one, we are all we are in this earth to make this world a better place than what we found, Sairam. That's what Swami expects us, and that's what I have tried to do it. And then oneness also has impacted my immediate family. All my 3 daughter-in-laws are from different religious background, different nationality, and so again, Swami has made sure, like in the 75th birthday time, I was in Puttaparthi. I always have gone by myself. I never went with the groups, and somehow it didn't work out that way. So that time, grand celebration at the Hillview Stadium, and then they had a float of interfaith of different denominations. It so happens that I landed up in a float which was a Jewish David Star with some of the Jewish devotees, and it eventually, one of my daughter-in-laws also is a Jewish person, so it's all interconnected. Nothing happens without a reason or a plan of action. Swami has put me in this part. I was just a village boy. I was focusing on agriculture, and then that was it. There were no plans of coming to America or any. I was not an IIT graduate or a medical doctor, engineer, none of those. My brother took pity on me, brought me to USA when I was 20 years old, and then started journey here to undergraduate school, graduate school. Eventually, Swami was preparing all along. Swami was not there at the early part of my life, but in 1979, I was struggling to pass my CPA exam. Swami entered my life, and then when I came back from Puttaparthi after the one and only interview where I sat next to him and he patted me on the back, I didn't ask any worldly things. I was just simply sitting and smiling, and my sister-in-law was asking some worldly stuff, and she signaled me to get down, sit on the floor. I didn't know. I was just innocent. Attitude was there. It was not nothing posting anything. So I think he planted me the seed of oneness. Go propagate this message to the world. So it took almost 25 years later, 1980 to 2015, so when I really, as a young adult in the spiritual life, started focusing on what is this Swami is teaching, how is it different from other worldly, so many, like Buddha, for Rama and everything is integrated in Swami's teaching, he talks about Rama, about he is the embodiment of Dharma, and then like Krishna is the compassion. So he touches on the same point, and that that he is reminding us we have traveled from minerals, plants, animals to human being. This human being, after whatever 86,000 crores of species, we have got this human birth to only think of God. And then Swami's mission, what is his mission? Is to awaken the divinity within us. For what? To serve people, help people. So the service project is all a big part of it. Again, everything connected to we are one. We are at the soul level, Atmic level. That's why he has told devotees, repeat after me, I'm God, I'm not different from God. So are you just don't know it, So you are the embodiment of truth, you are the embodiment of love. That's the way Swami inspires us, I think as we are prepared at the various levels we are in, and he prompts us to do different way. So everything is good, everything what we're doing, satsang, devotion, bhajan singing, study circle, everything is good. We are a different role to play, each of us. So I think my role at this point of life is to share the message of oneness of all, Brahmananda se Rudaya Baro, Swami. I think I have said more than I could. I hope people participate, ask questions. I think, please.
Yeah, please, anyone has any comments or questions, please pitch in. But it was really very nicely you said it, that one aspect of oneness is vibrant here and add a smilers. That is so beautiful. Another beautiful way of looking at oneness. So that was wonderful. And yes, please, since you've done so much work with immigrants and other people, if there are stories that you want to share about how you put some of these things into action. One other thing that Swami says, which is mentioned in the quotation that you circulated, is be content, be happy,
Yes.
do your duty, love. So that is also another way.
Yeah, that somehow. I mean, I don't know. My spiritual in tune as a village boy. I was just going to Rama's temple next door to us. We lived in a poor neighborhood, but our family was my dad was the first one to have graduated from college, and he was a lawyer doing community service. He was a president of the local town, a small town, 5,000 population at that time. So he also was. Somehow he also disliked money, so to say. I mean, he wanted money. He would complain he didn't have money, but same thing. Money makes money honest. Anyhow, as a village boy, contentment started there, I think, and then as Swami blessed me with many things, education, family, and everything. The contentment never went away. Thank God it was not replaced by greed and all those shedvargas, the desires, anger, jealousy, envy, all that. So I was happy-go-lucky. Little dal sambar is sufficient for me. I don't need a fancy meal. So that's why even when the opportunity came to make a lot of money, like promising immigrants, some of my friends are multi-millionaires, but I always focused on, well, I'm not a millionaire, but I'm a billionaire in spiritual way. I'm contented, I'm happy. I don't have a single client complaining about me, saying you took my money, you didn't do your work, or you did your best, like that. So the Swami's focus is always on be happy, be happy, be happy. What's the purpose of life? Is to, as I said, to experience God's love and share with all the fellow beings in our journey, family, friends, neighbors, co-workers, everyone. So the contentment is santruti. That is the greatest wealth. Only by divine grace. That's helpful. I live in a modest home. I still live a rented place. I've been this April. It'll be 50 years in America. Although I did MBA, I did CPA, JD, but I didn't focus on money. So at least I was able to help few hundred immigrants and their families. Whenever they see me, they send me greetings and all the blessings, all the du'as. I think help my children to be a good citizen also, and then lead a family life. 6 grandchildren. What more I can ask for? So the contentment is whatever comes my way. It's meant to be, and that's all. I don't expect to. Many times I made $200 in a whole week. It still was okay. Thank God I have a supportive wife wife for 40 years who also went along. When I lost the job in 1991, 1 year I didn't have a job, mortgage, single income, and all that, but the only thing I was writing to Swami, in those days I used to write letter to Swami. I used to write letters saying, Swami, find me an opportunity where I can support my family in a modest way, and then be helpful. So my prayer is keep me humble, simple but useful. Sairam.
Wonderful. That was absolutely wonderful. Your experiences. You have, I think, another way that Swami talks about this is unity of thought, word, and deed.
Yes.
And I think I heard you say that that's what you've been practicing.
Yeah, I mean, you heard. I'm sure we all have heard in the discourses. Swami, manasekam, what's that? Karmanyekam, vachasyekam. I think it's all about thought, word, and deed. Mahatmanaha, Manasanyat, Karmananyat, like Duratmana. I'm not quoting the exact Swami's quote, but you get the idea that, you always talk about Atma Shuddhi, purity of heart is all the sadhana. Like one quote I saw in the early 90s, 95 when I was there, that pure heart is all the sadhana. So I stuck to it, as much as try. I do get angry, I do get upset, but it doesn't last long. Like Swami talks about, whenever you get angry, think that you are not a dog, and drink some water, walk away from the situation. He gives many tips not to be angry. So one of the latest resolution is to have 0 minutes of anger in my life in day to day. But sometimes situations happen. I do argue with my wife, and sometimes I mean, the Swami always talks about you can always speak obligingly, you cannot always oblige. So like many times we have to tell the clients, this is not going to work, you don't have relief, you cannot proceed, you're wasting money, don't. I provide a free consultation, then as part of the work, and then so I tell them, my reputation is impeccable that way, thanks to Swami. My father was a very honest man, that character thing rubbed on me. And then, so, of course, when we came to Swami's fold, he always say, character is everything. If health is lost, something is lost. If money is lost, nothing is lost. If character is lost, everything is lost. Character building, human values, education, all those things that Swami is teaching. Everything is connected. Everything is trying to experience that divine bliss. How do we experience divine bliss? Is because of we are in touch with that inner core as much as possible. Life distractions happens, but at the same time, through bhajan, through satsang, through prayers, we refocus, readjust, reset, and then then recharge our battery, so that Swami always tells us, right? He reminds us who we are, saying that you are 3%. One you think you are is the body. One, the others think who you are is the mind, and then one you really are is the Atma. So many times he doesn't talk directly in terms of Atmic awareness, oneness, but through the concept, through the examples of highly evolved devotees, whatever Shabari or Harishchandra, various examples. Everyone is connected to identify where even Valmiki was Ratnakara, who was a robber who became a greatest poet, all by chanting, all by divine grace. So every sinner has a past, right? So everyone has a chance to be liberated. What's the liberation? Is to merge with God. If not in this life, but some future point where we have to, journey of God. Even Christians talks about it, saying, born again. What does it mean? Born again is to improve our human qualities of peace, love, compassion, and practicing that. So all the 9 point of code of conduct and Swami's quotes, discussion, everything is geared towards Atmic awareness, Atmic bliss. So with the acronym, So Sai, it's all everything is integrated into that. So I use that as soul awareness initiative, and I try to create a non-profit in those groups. I do have a Facebook page in that, and then it's another acronym Sai I use as a spiritual advancement initiative. Always thinking about, like when Swami took Mahasamadhi, the idea was floating very strongly in my mind to make the April 26th as the International Human Values Day in honor of Swami. So many things he has done, and then shared the idea with many people, even with some of the speakers who were visiting from Prashanti. It didn't go nowhere. I'm part of the United Nations, one of the non-profit. We are one of the NGOs. So, but we try to, without saying Swami's teaching, we try to share that in our own way. So I think I'm talking too much and it didn't become a study circle. I'm sorry.
Saram, thank you for your all the details that you mentioned about how you are using your work as a worship, and through your work you've been able to do immense seva for the community, especially the immigrants, right? So there is one particular Chindakata that comes to my mind. Okay? And this particular one is again about duty is God. And this again, I mean, I was teaching Balvikas at SSC, and this Chindakatas, as you all know, are Swami's stories that Swami has told during his discourse. And one very, very simple story, but very beautiful story that comes to my mind. Okay? And this applies to anybody who treats their work as worship and does it very, very sincerely and very with God's name in mind. So there is this story that Swami mentioned is from the Esther years when the street lights were by using the oil lamps. There was no electricity light lamps. So the local, this is probably some part of India, where the local municipality or whatever that agency, they hired few laborers to do this job. Okay, for each street there would be one particular laborer who would at around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock would start going on putting the oil and lighting the lamps and so on. And that was the job. And there is one particular laborer that Swami talks about. And this is again true stories. Okay, the name is not there of the person. Okay, so this particular person, very simple, honest person, and he would chant the Rama name all the time. As soon as he would do it all the time during his day also. But when he is there, fervently while chanting the name of the Lord, he would do this particular work, putting the lamp oil and then lighting the lamp. So he would go on for the whole street. Like this, even other laborers do. But over the period of time, people started noticing that the lamps that this person has lighted, okay, are staying on throughout the night. Okay, whereas other lamps would go off probably after a few hours. And everybody was given the same oil, same quantity of oil, the same type of the whatever else that was needed, the wick, whatever. And it's just that this was the particular person. So they were trying to find out what is that he is doing separate. Okay, that is there any technique that he's using, for to making sure that the lights remain on throughout. He was not doing anything separate. All that he was doing was just chanting the name of Swami, that is Rama, and doing it and he would do it, as per the requirement and in time. In a sense, he would never be delayed. Whatever 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. that was when he needed to start, he would be there right in time, and he would do it without getting distracted anywhere else in between. And quietly and very humbly he would do this. And and that showed the result. And this was again, so I think afterwards, of course, people applauded his part, and then people understood the name of the Ram, the power of the name of the Lord. Sai.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Pradesh. I mean, I alluded to Ratnakar, when he was a robber, he didn't even, he was no education, so they told him to repeat the name of Mara. Mara is the tree, So as he chanted Mara, 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 that became Rama, Rama, and they became a greatest saint, So the power of chanting Namasmarana is very well known, like even Prahlada, the 5-year-old, 7-year-old, he attained moksha. One thing interesting about Prahlada is that he always, when Narayana asked him any boon he wants, he said, God, Narayana, grant me that I have no desire to ask you anything come to mind all the time. So, again, that connects to contentment, Sai Ram. Any other, please share your thoughts, comments. Oh, one more other thing I think I meant to talk about. We pray Asathoma, Sadgamaya. Why do you say that? That's what Swami talks about. Lead me from darkness to light. What's the darkness? Darkness is that body identification to light, to divine consciousness. We go through we have these 5 sheets, right? We have Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. So all that is all, that prayer is, Asathoma, Sadgamaya. Lead me from untruth to truth. What's the untruth? It's the body consciousness, the truth, the soul consciousness, again, the oneness, so Mrityorma Amritam Gaya. Sorry, I went out of order, but Mrityorma Amritam Gaya. Lead me to that liberation. Even when we chant Gayatri, we ask for total liberation, or so everything is geared towards desirelessness stage, and then which what's it? Moksha is what? Mohakshaya, that the absence of total absence of all the worldly desires, only desire to attain, be one with Swami, be one with whichever chosen God we have. Sairam. Any other points on the list I didn't cover, Brother Anil? I don't have it in front of me. You may ask that, and if nobody's talking, I guess everybody's in silence.
No, Dinobhai has something to say.
Yes, Dinobhai.
Sairam, excellent topic. Of course, experiencing oneness is our ultimate desire or outcome. And Swami puts it very beautifully with many things. He said, cows are many, but milk is one. Stars are many, but sky is one. So, we are all one divinity. We are all swimming in that divinity. But we need to experience that. So, in one of the discussions with students at Kodaikanal, Swami mentioned this, which was narrated by one of the descendants of Jamnagar Maharaja. Now, Jamnagar family has donated many things in the Saree organization. He said, so is when we breathe in, is when we breathe out. So after breathing out, before the next cycle starts, there is a gap. However small that gap may be, Swami says, pay attention to that, and that will show you divinity. Of course, divinity is always there when you do so and when you do hum, but we're not aware of it. And one way to make it aware is pay attention to that gap. As this breathing slows down, there experience more and more. Saira.
Yeah, beautifully said, why that's the ultimate is that silence, experiencing that silence, so sometime I post something on Facebook or something where I'm seeking silence in silence, although I don't experience much, just well, one thing I do practice, I smile a lot, that's something. Because Swami, one of the first thing stuck in my mind is that he doesn't like castor oil face. so that if I smile, it makes me pleasant, and then the other person also calms down and like to be a friend rather than a foe. Sai-Ram, please add.
The other thing I was going to say is, Soham is really a question. I am that. So question is, what do you mean that? What does that mean? That means divinity. So Soham is I am that divinity. So actually it is also a Atma Vichar or self-inquiry on that word that.
Yeah, beautiful, yeah, I am that, and yeah, right, that is Soham, or that I think Atma Brahmasmi, Brahmasmi. Yeah, so the realized souls got to that level of, and again coming back to that bhajan, Brahmananda Sebaro, that that is. Brahmananda is not worldly happiness, that's true ecstasy too, like the gopis, like the famous poet Rumi, where he expresses his ecstasy for the Allah or creator, so that is something. So the experience of that, when that level, then there is no enmity, there is no animosity, all the Satya Dharma Shanti Prema is manifesting every nanosecond. Sai-Ram. Mr. Kamla?
Surya Prasad, Angela, Rani, anybody?
Pranam Radharaj, very beautiful concepts, and I was enjoying listening to you. Is my voice clear or is it cutting off?
No, I can hear it. Yes, it's clear. It's clear.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay. Because last Sunday, it was cutting off, so I was just wondering. Yeah, so you brought such beautiful concepts. Tat Tvam Asi, Brahma Asi, I mean, yes, it's all, we can connect to it being Sai devotees, but at the grassroots level, I'm sure we all have challenges, and I'm sure you have your own share of challenges, especially, when we were leading your bio, there was fire in your house, and now you were talking about losing your job. So, during all these challenges, did you maintain the same equilibrium or the balance of mind, or can you explain a little bit about, during happy days, yes, we all can connect to divinity immediately, but when we get challenges, are we still on that same level?
Yeah, thank you, Sister Mangala. Thank you for the question. Yeah, it's not easy. Every day there's challenges are there, but again at that point, when I tune into some bhajan, something will come up like this bhajan about Soham. I happened to search, and it came just like that to connect to this topic. So we have gone through, realizing that worldly possessions, the loss of fire, we had to start all over again, in 2010. And then 2012 we had Hurricane Sandy again. I maintained the office in the basement of where I live, where that's where I see clients. So that office was destroyed those 2 times plus 2 more times of flooding, other flooding times. That I kept telling me, okay, Swami, wants me to have a living. I'm a solo practitioner. He provides the way. He only graces with that blessing, but it was difficult at that time. Now looking back, I don't know how I made it. Even everything was difficult, like village life. Okay, then I failed the SSLC, I failed the PUC, I lost 2 years, a lot of mockery, a lot of people are always comparing. My older brother was a bright student to gold medalist, medical graduate, came to America like he's 23, and then like I was just a village farmer. So okay, they're always comparing the two. So those humiliation was there. Again, Swami told, I think Isaac Tigret lost his brother in his hand, I think, and a couple of major tragedies. Swami, why did you allow me to experience this? Of course, Isaac Tigret is a very well world famous devotee of Swami. Swami told him to soften your heart and also to show that what's real, what's unreal. Worldly things, the bodily attachments, everything goes. I came with nothing to America. Family, all these things are there. One day this will also go. That understanding of those are the Swami's tests are his taste, right? He put you in the fire. You see whether you can hold on to him, or you start blaming him, saying, "Well, Swami, why did you do that? I think of you and do this. I attend bhajans and I did this seva, that seva." I don't know. Somehow I didn't go in that direction. I think it's only Swami's grace, also previous karma, my parents' teaching. I think early, I was in that Rama Mandir in that small village, small town. The whole life revolved around housework, little schooling, and then the Rama Mandir. That devotion aspect. And my path to liberation is through devotion. So that's so that there were 9 steps of devotion. There was Vandanam, Dhyanam. Sorry, I'm mixing up the step and thinking too fast here. And then so all that, I think all that early foundation. My mom, when we had so much poverty, she only prayer she would offer is that give them good education, give them ghee rice. That like those days I recall, that. If they made a fresh rice, my mom would come and say, "I made a fresh rice for you," those are all luxuries. I never forget those days. So that humble beginning, that Swami's grace helped to transition, these tragedies of my brother who brought me passed away, and then deal with the family issues, and then the fire and the loss of job, and constantly reshaping. I even failed the bar exam twice, and then just once, and then I had to take a second time. Everything was second attempt. I took the CP exam 5 times, So like that, he was always there. That's his will. That's his will. I think Mangala, each person deals with the tragedies in a different way. I think turning to Swami, and then I don't know, somehow I hold on to his feet firmly and focus on his teaching that this too shall pass, right? When I think Pandavas were in the forest, I think Krishna had given him a chit, I don't know, I forgot what sequence, and he said, open when you're experiencing extreme difficulty. So then, I don't know, some situation happened, and then, Dharmaraj, I think, finally opened the chit. Now all it said was, this too shall pass, So I always remember that. So this too, nothing will last. What goes up comes down. What the pleasure is another side of the pain, right? So it's just even dealing with my children, certain issues. Sometimes it's hurtful. Then you think, But the thing is, you don't hold on to it. You look at, you don't focus on. I mean, at least I try not to focus on the person. Not the Atma. The whatever the behavior is behavior. So same way worldly position. I didn't aspire to. I had no plans of coming here. First of all. So whatever I've gotten is it's Swami's grace. So every day I profoundly thank Swami for every aspect. That's the only attitude of gratitude keeps me going. I know that it'll all work out for the good. Even like today, we drove, 100 miles for an interview in South Jersey. The client took me there. We went there. The file was missing. So how do you cope with it? How do you deal with it? Say, well, it's meant for some important reason. We don't know. So we had to drive back. So things happen like that. Just to, I do go for a long walk. That helps me. Then some bhajan will start playing in my mind, and then that's it. Reset the mind. Whatever depression, anger, or something, frustration going on. So if I'm angry, I don't speak to any family. They know. They know that I am upset. So I just leave the house and go for a short walk and get fresh air, and then everything kind of unwinds. That's one thing has helped me a lot. And many times I take naps. That helps me a lot. So these are simple things. Swami has prompted me allowed to implement practical solution, not to get dejected, distracted. It was very hard. Every situation been through was very difficult. Somehow made it through. I don't know how I made it through that far. The thing is, I don't dwell on it. Long period of time, at that time, I think my intensity of prayer goes up. There's a difficult situation. So and I think Swami expects us to call on him. So then, like Draupadi, Vrindavanavasi, and then she was calling from Krishna from various places. Finally, she said Hridayavasi. Then immediately the disrobing problem solved. Like that. I think he expects us to. He is our pranasaka. He is our inner Atmic source, and he's ever ready there. We just there's a English bhajan saying, "Door of my heart, open wide. Will thy see? Will thy see? Will my day go away without seeing you, my Lord?" Like that. So all those bhajans are dear. I listen to. Not only Swami's teachings, any spiritual thing, I keep an open mind, and then draw inspiration from that, and then the tragedy is just an experience. It's just Swami's test. That's the way. Or repeatedly, Swami has shown me that's his way of teaching me a lesson. Some lesson I have forgot to learn, especially forgiveness, inclusion, expansion, and then don't ever worry. He has deeply installed in me not to give importance to things, give importance to people. So, Sairam, I hope I answered your question. I don't know.
Thank you, Brother Raj. The reason why I asked was that, looking at your bio, you've gone through a lot. And just recently, I was listening to a talk wherein a Shishya was asking the Guru, Guruji, you say that God is all compassionate, all merciful. Then why is there so much suffering in the world? And the Guruji said, sufferings are given to man so that they come out strong. Okay? And then he gave a beautiful story. And it will just take me 2 minutes to narrate the story.
Please.
It seems there was a little girl, and once she went out in the garden and she saw a caterpillar in the cocoon. Okay, so she was very excited. Very soon that caterpillar is going to come out, and it's going to it will come out as a butterfly with beautiful wings, and then it will fly away.
stuck. Yeah.
And yes, it's not able to tear the cocoon open and come out. And then she could see that the belly had swollen. Okay, and it's the last few centimeters that had to be opened up before the butterfly can come out.
Mm-hmm.
She said, let me help the butterfly, okay, to come out. Why would it struggled all these days, but I don't want it to struggle. With all her, compassion, she took small scissors and she opened up the cocoon. As soon as she opened up the cocoon, she thought that the butterfly is going to come out happy, joyful, and fly away. But what happened was the butterfly fell down. What happened was that the butterfly had to struggle till the end because the tummy, which was swollen, okay, it has fluid in it, and that fluid will go into the wings, and the wings will become
strong
enough so that the butterfly can fly. Whereas the girl, by cutting the cocoon, the butterfly lost that much of time,
to gain the strength.
Yes, so that the liquid from the tummy goes into the wings. So the lesson here is that the more we struggle, the more we come out stronger. Especially when we have God in mind, and we think that all this is His prasad.
Yes.
Once we think like that all that we have gotten, be it good or bad, that is God's prasad for us, and not complain. Oh God, why did you give me so much suffering? Why did you give me so much problems? That person doesn't suffer. Why should I? Comparison and all that. That attitude should not be there. The Guruji mentioned to the Shishya, take whatever has come into your lap as God's prasad and be grateful for that and thank Him and pray for the strength to cope. Because even to cope up, we need strength from the God, right?
Yes.
So for that strength to cope with the situation and be grateful that whatever He has given is for our best, for our good, because He is always all compassionate, all merciful, and all He wants is for His children to be strong and kind. So I thought, I'll share this with you. God, so much.
Yeah, thank you, Sister Warner. Yeah, that's right. It's exactly that he makes us strong, and now also relating to my clients who are applying for refugee status, it helps to relate to their suffering, their loss of home, their loss of possession, loss of family, and then rebuilding their life. And I'm part of one of the interfaith groups here. The rabbi, his family was separated during Holocaust, so all his children, his wife, all died, and then he had an awakening. Then he became a interfaith rabbi rather than just focusing on Judaism. So the suffering makes us strong. Also, Swami gives his devotees diamond ring, which I never got one. Just to remind them, die mind. They die the desires, and then also again it comes to awakening that we are not this body, we are this soul, that we are in this journey. This is a temporary home. We are just transit passengers. Less luggage, more comfort. How many times you heard Swami say that, right? So he gives us the difficulty, also the ability to bear that difficulty, just enough so that before, when I was looking for a job, even the move to New York, the last point I want to make is that I was here 6 weeks looking for a job. Nothing turned out. I given one interview, so I packed my car and ready to go back to Oklahoma, where family was still there. Then it was November 4th, 1982. I'm sorry, 1992, and then we got a call from them saying that we want to offer you a job. So I got a job at of all places called Restoration Corporation. Swami was restoring that I got to keep in New York, so that, then one more year the family was in Oklahoma. Like that, he tests you, are you really relying on me or not? I still have difficulty with total surrender. We have spoken in the previous study circles, other people have shared. So that's something I'm still working on, but each time some difficulty comes, again, I think that's just a reminder for me that I still not surrendered. I still have many ways to go, I'm just making progress. So if not this life, many more lives, hopefully I've learned some lesson, and when I face Swami, whenever it is, and you'll say, well, at least you tried. Sairam.
Definitely. Now, thank you very much, Brother Raj. It's been a wonderful evening. I think it's already well past 8:30.
Yeah, okay.
So I think
we can just conclude with that last video of Remind Me My Lord, and then play it in the background. We can end it. Sairam.
okay.
It's a very short version. It kind of reinforces everything as to, who we are, Soham, Koham, all that.
Yeah, the second link, I think.
Yeah. Remind me, my Lord. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you, Brother Anil. Thank you, everyone, for patiently listening to. Sorry. Oh, okay. That's okay. We can come. Yeah, it's okay. We can come. Okay. No problem.
But yeah, thank you very much.
We can conclude it. Yeah.
So we'll just conclude. Maybe you can conclude with Om and 3 Shantis.
Okay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sairam.
Brother, do you have any?
Sairam, yeah, just same announcement. We will be meeting again on Sunday, and that will be again not for the day and like usual. Okay, and then we'll have next Thursday satsang.
Hello.
Hello, Raj.
Hi, Vandra. How are you?
Oh gosh, thanks for calling.
Okay. You're welcome. Just checking on. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm glad. So, I want to share with you
Yes.
that today sometime there was a message left on my phone. I was away as in I was actually doing some groceries and laundry and all that today. So, in that, the Department of Education's Law Office, where I filed that petition.
Mm-hmm.
The petition, some lawyer, Jyothi Meditation, I'm calling you on that issue, on that petition, plus calling you with respect to that petition.
Mm-hmm.
So, the petition, you have already sent me a revocation order in between. So, I will, I guess, call her tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, to follow up with you.
Return the call, and frankly, I tried to put her name, with after all it is what Shamksrachsrya or something. So I tried out several spellings of this name.
Mm-hmm.
And that her name doesn't come up as a lawyer.
Okay. But did the phone number at least trace us to